Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for our post-match reaction of the first leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-finals between Inter Milan and AC Milan, which ended with a 2-0 victory to Inter Milan. Okay, that was quite an interesting match, wasn't it, Russ?
Not the result I expected. I thought it would be a closer game, but
I think we all wanted.
yeah, I wanted Milan.
Yeah.
Milan didn't show up yesterday. I think missing Leao out injured really dampened the mood. The squad didn't look like how they usually do. So maybe that one player not playing really screwed the game plan up. Yeah, I think Inter just looked way better than AC Milan. Like it was like I don't know. It just didn't seem like a Milan derby yesterday. It didn't feel like a Milan derby.
Almost felt like a preseason friendly at some points because surprised at the lack of atmosphere as well. I mean there was atmosphere, but I expected it to be a bit more raucous.
I expected it to be more violent.
Yeah.
But Inter had to go scored too quick and and it being a two-legged affair, they couldn't Milan players couldn't go over the top with their frustration on the opposition because it would just get them red card and can't play in the second leg. So it was a very controlled Milan derby. Like it's a very weird thing to say because usually most of this is like how
these derbies usually are
your Boca
your
Boca and River play. I think recently, do you see that?
Yeah, but I think at 2-0 it's still poised on a knife edge. I guess there is we've seen teams come back from worse.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of improbability that AC Milan can come back, but we see the dependence on Leao. There's very little attacking impetus for them without Leao. But what surprised me the match last night was just that AC Milan defense was so static. I think the number of times the Inter forwards got in between the lines, were just dancing around the defenders. It's scary to see. I mean, I'm looking at the Serie A table as like a reference. Milan are in 5th now, and they've conceded I think the most goals out of the top 5. So I guess their defense hasn't been as rock solid. Yeah,
I think they adopt this rock and roll style, like the Klopp way of playing. Really, the way they play is like when you attack, is like everybody who can join, just go and join the attack. I was like, the one that always starting the attacks is the Theo Hernandez. Like he's just running and he's quick, man. I didn't realize how quick he is now. But he would just run and you see like Tonali all activated, just running up. No care about what's behind. Just go, and if you get counted, let's hope and pray Tomori and
Simon Kjær
to save their asses and Maitland. Like you can just see yesterday, Inter just knew what to expect. You just wait for them to attack, get the ball back there, and they started. And the midfield area was the most surprising thing, where they were like Milan's midfield was non-existent. It was a gaping gap. Like if you saw the second goal where Mkhitaryan scored, right? The commentators say you can drive a bus through that. That gaping hole. Like I was like shocked. I was like, usually Italian teams are built around.
I mean
strong
that's a stereotype.
That's
a stereotype.
I mean it's a stereotype, but it's true. It's always been true. Like they're very hard. They're always hard to break down, from their national team to or even the teams within the Serie A. Is always they're just defensively strong. It's just where the lack is the attacking aspect. But Milan really lacked everything yesterday, and that's like I'm gonna say Inter just played their game, exposed Milan's flaws, and it could have been worse than 2. It could have been 3, 4, 5. Because
I mean,
there was a penalty.
There was the penalty.
The penalty was
the non-penalty.
That's stupid from Lautaro, because he's still on his feet. It's a goal.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's this Argentinian kind of way of playing nowadays. Is this not the World Cup, Lautaro? No more, no Messi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Chanonaglu hit the post. I think there are a few chances it was crazy. Like Maitland also made a few saves. Could have been back real quick. Like
could have been a blowout.
30 minutes could have been 4-5-0. I was telling my friend I was watching the match. I said, if this is 3-0, it's over. 3-0 over.
But 2-0, it's not, right?
Yeah, it's not. I think if Leao is fit for the return leg, then the questions will be they will ask the questions for Inter, I guess, because one thing that I think you and I were talking about it earlier was that Inter have quite an experienced team, and like you have quite a lot of
Sure.
players there who are not really in their prime.
Mhm.
I mean, the two goal scorers, Dzeko and Mkhitaryan, 37 and 33 respectively.
Mhm.
I mean, you have the likes of Matteo Damian, you have who else is-
Acerbi.
Yeah,
Acerbi.
yeah, even Lautaro Martinez himself is not that young. So
Yeah.
He's quite young, right? 25, 26. No,
I feel like
older?
he's been playing forever though.
I don't know. I feel like he's been a.
He's 25.
He's been like
but
a one.
he's been around for a
Everybody's
while.
been saying
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
wonder kid. Every I was like,
It's
is
that
the
Jesse
refer-
Lingard curse.
Jesse Lingard.
Jesse Lingard and Danny Welbeck, cause
Yeah, it's
forever,
like, oh.
forever youngsters with
Up,
potential.
up and coming
yeah.
talent. Then he said, she's 28.
Yeah, but yeah, we've seen AC Milan be able to turn it on in the Serie A and also in the Champions League against Napoli. So it might hinge on Leao coming back and being fit enough to come back. I think if he's rushed back, then that might lead to them bottling any opportunity that they have.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
It's gonna hinge on Leao. I mean, Inter Milan seem to have their full team playing.
Yeah.
And that was their
Yeah.
limit.
A fun fact here: of the Champions League games that Rafael Leao has not featured in, Milan have never won. So yeah, when he's been injured, whatever, like his
Yeah.
availability, he's been part of the squad. So interesting tidbit there. Let's, for Milan's sake, then hoping Leao shows up for the second leg.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of his fitness. Now, okay, we're taking apart AC Milan a little bit here, but some credit to Inter, right? They got the game plan right.
Yep.
They knew what they were doing. Dzeko, 37, still able to side foot volley it home.
Horrendous.
Horrendous defending, yes, yeah. But credit, right, to Inter for executing their
Yep.
game plan well and carrying out what they needed to do. But should they have done more, Farid? Could they have done more? I mean, yeah, we know it hit the post and Maina saved a couple, but like, could they have done more?
I think if I was Inter, definitely I'll be happy with the performance. I think they got out of the performance everything that they needed.
Yeah.
I think because even though yes they're gonna go back to the San Siro still, like the proportion of fans are gonna be different. Yeah.
They have to go back.
So like yeah, I think with the Inter home crowd behind them for the second leg, I think that should drive them past the line if AC Milan don't really turn up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Inter should be happy with the 2 goals that they got. Could they have done more? Hard to say, especially given how AC Milan's defense seemed to be very leaky. But yeah, 2-0 it's a good result to take away from the first leg.
What do you think, Russ? Could Inter have done more?
Should
have
honest,
done
I think
more,
to be
yeah.
honest, if I was a Inter Milan player, I'll be disappointed. I've been very disappointed because yes, you got the 2 goals, no injuries, very good. It's a good thing to come out of the first leg.
Yeah.
But if you got 3-4 in the first leg, you know it's essentially done. The other team will be on very low motivation to play next game. You really can rest some play. You can get ready for that finals. You know what I mean? It's very rare, but we've seen it before that teams come back from 4 goals
I mean,
down. I think,
Barcelona did it against
PSG.
Against PSG, yeah.
I think Real Madrid came back, but Real Madrid was not that. Like you can come back from like 2, but I think once it's like 4-5, you really need like
everything has to
crazy-
go right. Yeah.
I mean, like that Barca team that came back, it wasn't a bad Barca team.
Yeah.
They just didn't perform in the first league, but if they turn it up.
yeah.
But how good Milan is with Leao, if you are 4-0 up in the first league, how much they turn it out, is you're not coming back. So
You can give up 3 goals, but like, you know, obviously you don't approach the game from that perspective, but you could give up 3 goals and it would still be okay.
I think from
right?
Inter's point of view, they'll be disappointed because of the lack of the killer instinct. They created so many chances. I think the first half, if you look at the stats, was 13 shots from, if I'm not wrong, because 13 shots on total shots, but to Milan's 1. It was something crazy. So like, if you were putting that to ratio of like, if you take 13 attempts, you should be converting maybe 4.
Yeah.
4, I think, and the chances weren't like pop shots from 40 yards out. It's like going to the box.
Yeah.
In some intricate play, but I was very impressed by their wing backs yesterday, DiMarco and Dumfries.
Yeah.
Like they were the key to that Inter attack. Like every time DiMarco goes down, when he's crossing the ball, the person in the box is the other wing back Dumfries, and when the Dumfries has the ball, is the opposite round. They were constantly like overloading that Milan defense that they couldn't handle because there's so many people to take note of with your Lautaro, Zeko, and the two wing backs, and Barella and Mkhitaryan making their runs in the box was crazy. Like, it was really like, I think Milan couldn't deal with it. If they don't tweak it for the second leg, the same results.
I mean, that for Mkhitaryan's goal, that's how they created the gap. They were overloading on one side.
Yeah.
Played it across to the center, and then there was only Theo Hernandez to cover for Mkhitaryan. So like,
I think there's an over-reliance on Theo. Like, I feel...
Mm-hmm.
If Rafael Leao is not in the team, then they
No, I mean,
rely...
the sense for defending because they just rely on his space to cover back. Like, the midfield does not give him a lot of defensive support. Give the back four that a lot of defense because they're more of, I think even Benacer and Tonali, they're starting to CDMs. Are more number 8s where they like to go just press.
They're
up.
CDMs in name only.
Yeah, but they're box to box. So so they don't really have that like Casemiro, Declan Rice, that kind of like just to sit. Like very disciplined in just holding the position. They want to go up. They want to create as well. So I mean, Inter just took their chance and like just made use of how Milan was playing their tactics and just
outplayed them.
I mean, okay, so let's look ahead to the second leg now, right? I'm gonna throw it to you guys to decide. If you were the manager of which team, right, what would you do? Like, how are you gonna approach the second leg? So, say you're the manager of AC Milan. What are you gonna be doing for the second leg? You're the manager of Inter, right? Think about that for a second, and if you feel like you've got a game plan that you want to share it.
I think for me, if I was Inter, I would just start the game hard and fast. Try to get that early goal in.
Kill them off.
Yeah, because AC Milan are going to want to come out of the blocks running. So take advantage of that. They're going to leave the same gaps in their midfield and in their defense. We saw how Martinez and Dzeko having like two men up front was kind of like tearing apart. Not to say tearing apart, but it was putting a lot of pressure on the defense. Overload their defense again, and I feel like if you get that early goal in the first 15 minutes, and AC Milan is just going to be struggling from that point onwards.
Okay, so that's your plan for Inter. What's your plan for AC Milan, Russell?
I think, look, you have to take a lot of learning points from that first leg. I think if I was in charge of that team, I was the manager, I'll change the formation. I'll go to a 3. To match them because the Tomori,
Simon Kjaer,
and usually they'll play Kalulu.
Yes,
It's good enough to manage Lautaro and Zeko because Lautaro and Zeko aren't the quickest. Lautaro is not the quickest player, and Zeko has no pace. So you can match that 3 to the. You can.
He's a slightly worse Wout Weghorst. Come on, let's be honest.
I mean, I'll take Zeko any day. So now I'll go 3 and I'll match that formation as well. I'll go 3, whatever they're playing, 3-5-2 or something. I'll match it. I'll match. Milan can match that formation, and you have your left wing back, which is Theo, and then your right, you can go Salamakers or something instead of Calabria. And keep that 3 in midfield. If Benacer is still fit, Benacer, Tonali, and Krunic. Because you have to match them. Because that was where the problems were. If you keep them 3 there, it's fine. And then if Leao is back, hopefully Leao and Giroud, which complements each other.
Actually, let me pose this question to you from an AC Milan perspective. If they want to overcome this 2-0 deficit, should they start Divock Origi?
No, I don't think Divock is a starter. I feel like he's a
impact sub.
It's like plan B. I think you take out Giroud and you bring Divock, makes sense with Leao, because the key to this whole thing will make it like whether they can come back is just a Leao. Because if they don't have Leao, it'll be Divock and Giroud, which is 2 of the kind of the same fox in the box. Like they're not really creators. They're just there to finish, and you need someone to play off them. Like Giroud creates, like I think Giroud won a lot of headers yesterday, but the guy playing next to him at one point was Brahim Diaz.
Brahim Diaz.
He's not the quickest. He's just good on the ball, but he's that Bernardo kind of player, which is quick on the ball but not quick on the feet. So I think just match for Milan. They just have to match the formation. They go 3 fully utilize Theo because Theo in a 4, you're not really getting the best of him, I feel. Given the team
his starting position should be higher up the pitch
Yeah,
in
should
order
be,
to
yeah.
affect the game a bit more.
And he can press high and also at the same time recover back. So you don't have to worry about him being out of position as a left wing back, as left mid, because he can always recover his pace. So like yesterday, a few times his defensive awareness isn't the best, but what gets him out is always his pace and his strength. So just fully utilize him in that way. Like don't leave him in the 4 because the 4 that keeps him back. I think it holds him back a lot.
Okay.
Just a note on Leao's injury. So I'm just looking through like the
News.
and seems like he got a muscle injury in their last game, and he did return to partial training this week, but didn't recover in time, and looks like he might struggle for the next leg. So, gonna be tough for Milan if Leao doesn't recover in time.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough for them. So, lock in your predictions, guys. Don't forget to check out the app, Kickoff by Zuju, everybody, to lock in your predictions for the next game. Win, lose, or draw, Milan or Milan.
Milan.
Okay, Inter or AC? Call it.
AC Milan.
AC Milan to win?
Yep. AC Milan to win on penalties.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go for Inter, but I Inter's gonna win, but I don't want them to win because I feel like they will provide. And I'm not throwing shit at Inter, but I feel like they are the lesser team to face Madrid or Man City in the finals.
I think they're the worst matchup for either teams on the other side because they are so disciplined and they will just sit and you'll be the most. You see, like if either team makes it to the if Madrid or Man City in the finals and Inter is the opponent, I tell you the stat now. I put my house on it. I don't have a house yet. If you want to buy for me a house, please. I can't wait 6 years to get a house. So I put my house on it. It'll be 80-20 possession the whole game. I just know this. And they're just going to play on the counter-attack. And that's the way they're going to decide. So I feel like Man City or Real Madrid is going to have a harder time because that team's just going to sit and wait. And they don't mind going to penalties. It might be the most boring final. But I want AC Milan to win because they need to right the wrongs in Istanbul.
Yes.
That's all. They need to right the wrongs, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the end of it, the Istanbul. The Istanbul thing, please, go down against Man City and come back and win in penalties, something, so they can change the narrative of Istanbul.
Yeah, because it's really annoying.
Klopp us to book the tickets, all this. So this is a bit wild. But yeah, please, my AC Milan, please bring out that off-white jackets, come with a bit of swag and show them what you got in San Siro, man.
Okay. Well, my heart is saying AC Milan because long-time Milan fan. So that's what I'm going with. I'm not going to listen to my head on this one because honestly, unless Leao starts, I don't really see a way back for AC Milan unless
Shevchenko, Maldini, all come off on them.
Unless there's a sudden regen, of one of these and their defense suddenly, Paolo Maldini is reincarnated.
Shevchenko, Cafu, just bring out all of them.
Yeah, bring back the entire gang. Yeah. I mean, look, it's possible now because Kazuyoshi Miura is still playing professional football at the age of 56. So shout out to King Kazu, who just signed a contract with the second division team in the Portuguese league. So yeah, it's not beyond the realms of
I've seen him play Cafu. That world.
Yeah.
Let him stay retired. The man looks happy, man. Don't ask him to come home.
Oh, we'll bring back Maldini. Okay, I guess that's it from us, guys. One last thing before we go off, don't forget to join our match predictor contest that we are currently running right now on the Kickoff by Zuju app. All you have to do is predict 10 matches correctly for one EPL game week. You're going to have 3 chances, 3 game weeks left until the end of the EPL season, and you could win the entire Maestro card collection in one fell swoop. Okay, so join our Discord server to find out more details. That's it from us. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.